Flower Princess. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom named Verde. Verde had a generous and gentle king who lived with his daughter, Princess Fleurette, in the Crystal Palace. Princess Fleurette was one of a kind, strong, wise, and gentle. People of Verde loved their princess. They wondered how she was able to stay this calm and brave at the same time. Well, that was because Princess Fleurette had a secret. She was the strong, unnerved princess the entire day. But for a whole 2 hours, just before dawn, she would visit her heaven, her private garden. The garden of the princess was a forbidden garden for outsiders. This was because Princess Fleurette was not a princess in her secret garden. For these 2 hours, she would not wear the crown, not be surrounded by her guards, and not be dealing with her royal duties. Here, she would only be Fleurette, a young girl who loves flowers. Oh, you tubby little baby. Princess Fleurette was not the only one to keep a secret in the Crystal Palace. The king himself was guarding a secret of his own, and he was increasingly worried about the princess. No one knew why.
We have to look for a partner for the princess soon. Someone who understands her and accepts her for who she is.
For who she is? Sire, she is a princess. Of course we will look for a suitable noble prince for her.
I am afraid it's not that simple. She is not just a princess. Release a scroll to all the kingdoms. The princess loves flowers, and the one who finds the flower that holds her heart will be chosen to get to know the princess and marry her, if she agrees.
The king never told anyone why he was worried about his daughter, but they knew better than to question him. The princes were invited to the palace, and the quest for the true prince began.
Princess, I am here to win your heart.
Oh, dear noble prince, you are at the wrong place. The competition for winning trophies doesn't begin at Verde for the next 7 months. Many princes tried, but Princess Fleurette was not flattered.
Princess, I accept you completely with my whole heart and being. I shall bring the sun to you and take you to the moon. I shall hold your heart with...
So what happens with the sun if you take me to the moon? It will be so lonely.
I didn't think of it that way.
Better start now. Roses! Roses hold your heart. You look just like them. See for yourself. Uh-oh.
Oh, the poor thing. How dare you uproot a flower like that? Look at it. How can it hold anything? Guards, take the rose and replant it. Right now.
Does that mean you accept my flower?
The next morning, Princess Fleurette sat in her secret heaven and complained to her flowers about the prince who uprooted the rose. She was so annoyed that she never noticed being watched. Huh? Who is that? Definitely doesn't sound like a honeybee. Show yourself.
Hi.
Who are you?
I am a pixie. Now don't say you don't know pixies.
Oh, well, I know who pixies are. I read about them. How did you get here?
I jumped over the fence, then ran towards the shrubs and picked up a stick to help me through. I flew, genius. Gosh, you were really smart.
I mean, this garden is forbidden. This is my space. How dare you get here? I'm going to report you to the king.
What? Oh, please don't take it to the king. All right, I was rude. I'm sorry. Let's not bother the king about this. He's already worried about the princess. You must be the maiden of the princess.
The princess decided to not reveal her identity and let the pixie think that she was the maiden of the princess and not the princess herself. The pixie told her stories about his kingdom, the waterfalls, the beautiful forests, and much more. Princess Fleurette was smitten with those stories. Princess Fleurette and Pixie began to meet often. They shared their life stories. It always astonished the pixie to see the way the princess talked to the flowers. How she lovingly smiled at the insects and greeted their babies. The pixie had never seen anybody so generous. It only made him grow fond of her. But the budding love of the pixie soon found trouble as a guard saw him entering the forbidden garden.
Hey!
The pixie was arrested and brought in front of the royal court. The pixie could not believe his eyes.
Of course. How silly of me. I never asked her name. She is Princess Fleurette.
We found this creature lurking about the hidden garden.
He is a pixie, not a creature. Don't you have any manners?
I am so sorry, Your Highness.
At the instructions of the princess, the pixie was taken out of the cage and placed on a soft, luxurious chair. The pixie knew better than to show everybody that he knew the princess. Both Fleurette and Pixie kept their secret. The pixie shall be respectfully escorted back to his home. It's an order.
What? No. Is that the kind of princess you are? Pixies are fairies. So one can say that I am a prince of my kind myself. And since I've been brought to your palace, don't you have an obligation as a host to let me ask for your hand? This is so silly.
You are a pixie. We are noble princes. The princess deserves someone like us. This must be allowed. The pixie is right. He is the prince of his kind, since only the souls that are pure of heart are ever blessed to be fairies.
Princess Fleurette was surprised. She stared at Pixie and was recalling all her great memories with him. I agree with my father. There are many noblemen in the court, but Pixie has exhibited courage and he speaks wisely. I give you till tonight to find the flower that holds my heart, and if you do, I shall keep my promise and marry you. The princess and the entire palace court was shocked to hear the princess. A pixie was given a chance to marry the princess. That was never heard of. The whole night, Pixie kept pacing in his royal guest room. He was remembering all the time he spent with the princess, how they would laugh, love the plants, talk. How simple but pure she is.
She loves all the flowers the same. But which one has her heart? Wait, how could I have missed this?
The next morning, the entire court eagerly awaited the pixie. But the most eager was the king himself.
I bowed to the princess and his highness, and I am happy to announce that I have found the flower that holds the heart of Princess Fleurette. The flower is called the Bleeding Heart.
Impossible. These flowers only bloom in the spring.
And this is such a common flower. The princess is special, and she would like a special flower, of course. It is true that they bloom in spring. Strangely, nobody noticed them blooming out of season right in front of the palace. It's a magical bleeding heart. And dear Prince, no flower is ordinary or special. Nature does not discriminate. We do.
With these words, the bleeding heart floated up from the box and opened to reveal a bright light. The light pierced the heart of the princess, and Princess Fleurette transformed into a pixie herself. What is happening? When the princess was young, her love for the flowers had brought her a boon. She would look like a human, but would attain her true fairy self once she finds the one who sees her and accepts her for who she truly was. The king explained that Fleurette wasn't just a princess, but a pixie flower princess.
My dear Fleurette, my flower princess,
Father!
you have exhibited purity in heart and soul.
I am grateful, Your Highness. And yet, my lovely princess, what I seek is love from the most beautiful flower on the planet, my Fleurette.
Well, now that you have guessed my favorite right, I might want to get to know you better and then decide.
My pleasure. I shall take you to this amazing garden just beside the palace where the genius maiden of the princess comes every dawn. Maybe you will find her as funny as I do.
The kingdom of Verde had found their true rulers, the pixie and the flower princess.